4 from Upper Trosna Baptist Church. My name is Pastor Richard Miles. Now, for many people today, church is something which is very irrelevant. Many people don't see what church life has to do with them at all, and don't give it a second thought as they live their lives. Church, as far as many people are concerned, is just something that, well, a minority of people go to on a Sunday. It's something they think to do with religion, but really, it's not much to do with modern day life or anything like that. Pretty much an irrelevant, and so they can just carry on doing what they do from day to day, go to work, come home to family, maybe do all sorts of other things, pursue hobbies, interests, go out, enjoy people's company, all of those things. But there's no need really, as far as they're concerned, to be thinking about church or anything like that, or what it's about. And so if you were to do a survey and ask what's it about, you might get some rather unusual answers, and answers that aren't actually true. So what I want to share with you this afternoon is basically, what is the church all about? So that then you actually know. And I trust that if you don't know much about church at the moment, that it might make you more interested. And even if you're not interested, at least then you will know. But I'm asking the question, what's church about? But that's not really the right question, because the right question should be, who is church about? And the answer to that question is the Lord Jesus Christ. He is the one who church is about. Now, whatever impression you might have of church, and whatever churches do or get involved in, if the church is not about him, then it is not functioning as it should be. Now, it's quite a big claim, you might think to yourself, to say the church is all about Jesus. Why am I saying that? What makes me think that the church is all about Jesus? Well, the point is, if you read through the New Testament in the Bible, you will find the name of the Lord Jesus Christ on almost every single page of it. And therefore, because of that, he has to be someone who is important. Someone, the person who the New Testament is about. There are 4 Gospels, and each of them is about Jesus, what he taught and what he did. There are letters which people wrote to different churches. And what were those letters about? They were all about Jesus and what he did. And so if you're going to go to the trouble of putting 4 books together in a Bible and a load of letters about Jesus, surely he must be the most important person of all. And so what I want to say to you this afternoon is this: the Lord Jesus Christ is whom the church is about. And I could give you many passages from the Bible to make that point. But I'm just going to share with you a few words this afternoon from a letter that Paul wrote to the church in Colossae. Colossae was a town that was a centre of business back in those days. And there was a church that met there. And Paul wanted to write to that church to encourage them to keep going and about how they should do that. And here is what he wrote. As I say, he is the one we proclaim. He is the one we proclaim. 6 words. He, being Jesus. Jesus is the one we proclaim. And I think you could really sum up what Paul was getting at in the whole of the letter in those words. He is talking about proclaiming Jesus. Now, when we talk about proclaiming Jesus, we mean the fact that we talk about him. In church, we sing about him. In the Bible, we read about him. But to proclaim him is to talk about him, or to make other people know that he is there. Now, as I say, many people don't take much interest in him, but people who are Christians will say, yes, Jesus is the center of my life, as he is the center of the church, and so I want to make him known to people. I want people to know that he is a part of my life. In the same way that he was part of the life of this church here in Colossae, he is also part of the lives of people who follow him. That is where the word Christian comes from. Christian, one who follows Christ. And so he is central. I keep saying that, but that is the way it is. And he is central because those people who are Christians would tell you that he's not just some vague person who they might have possibly known something about, but he's somebody who you can actually get to know. Yes, you can know Jesus. There's an amazing thing, isn't it? This person we are proclaiming is not just some historical figure from off the pages of history, but he is actually somebody who can be known. You can have a relationship with Jesus. He can be somebody who you interact with, somebody who you spend time with. Now, that might sound strange because he's not on earth anymore. He has now gone back up into heaven. And yet, we can know him. We can have that relationship with him. And I want to say this to you, it is worth having that relationship with him because he has done so much for us. He has done so much for our lives to make sure that our lives can be made that much better. I'm sure many of you will think to yourself, yes, I know there are things that are wrong in my life, things that I would love to sort out, things that can be better. Well, Jesus has done all of that. He's taken all those things that you have done, which are not good, all the bad things of your life. And as he died at the end of his life, he took them upon himself. And in his death, he provided a way for you to come to know him if you put your trust in him. If you acknowledge, yes, there are things in my life that need sorting out and need changing, but I know that Jesus is somebody who can change them. And you know, when you put your trust in him to do that, then you will have that relationship with him. You will be able to know him. You will be able to talk to him in prayer. You'll be able to read about him in the Bible, and it'll all make sense to you. And even better, one day you will see him face to face. That is a promise because of what he has done. Because after he had been there dying, taking those wrong things on himself, he rose again. He came back to life again. And because he came back to life, we can be guaranteed to have life forevermore. And so there we have it. The Lord Jesus Christ, the most important person of all. And so, can I encourage you, if you're wondering and thinking, yes, church is not relevant, it's all about Jesus and what he has done, and that is incredibly relevant. Well, just before I leave you, I want to remind you that we post regularly onto this YouTube channel and Facebook page. Keep coming back and finding more things from Upper Trosnant. You can also look at our website, which is trosnant.org. And one thing that is going to be put onto the YouTube page is our morning services that we have each Sunday. They're put up onto YouTube for you to watch, and you're very welcome to look at them. And at the moment, we have just started a new series looking at one of those 4 Gospels that I was talking about earlier, the Gospel of John. And guess what? That is all about the Lord Jesus Christ. And so this afternoon, I would ask you, would you put your trust in him and what he has done? Thank you so much for watching, and may the Lord bless you.